Hello, hello, and welcome to another day and another session with SongLabs. And I am your host, Miss J. Cole from Soul Sessions, the show. And I just drew a blank. Anywho, so we have with us today the beautiful
Candice Chavez.
Candice Chavez. How are you doing today?
I'm fabulous.
Yes. Good. See, I got, tongue-tied and tongue twisted and drew a blank because I just heard you sing. Whew, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So excuse me for that moment that I just had. Okay? Excuse me for that moment.
Oh, my goodness.
So why don't you tell everybody about yourself?
Oh, well, my name is Candice Chavez, and I'm born and raised Las Vegas. I've been living here about 20 years. I'm a mom of 5, 2 biological, 3 adopted, all grown and doing their life and thriving just fine. Been singing my whole life, pretty much. But to be honest, the singing thing has not always been on the chop block or something that I aspired to be as a young person, but it kind of fell in my lap. So that's a true story.
It fell in your lap?
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you let me tell it, it was a fluke accident that I found that I had some ability to hold a note.
All right. Well.
Oh, you want to get into it? Yeah. Okay. Well, I remember I was about 12, 6th grade. My music teacher had a Friday talent show day. And I always was the one listening to the students singing. I always hum and I don't know the words, but I would kind of sing to myself. And one of the students says, "Can she sing? Can we hear her sing?" And so I got brave enough to get up to sing, but of course my eyes are shut because I'm like completely terrified. Okay. But when I opened my mouth, I saw the countenance of the students in the building, including my music teacher, who was like looking like, what is going on? And then there began a life of this singing aspect, and sang for my choir. I got to sing for the governor of Las Vegas. Got to audition for Bootsy Collins, and my first appearance for the Apollo was at 17 years old. Steve Harvey was the host at the time. Okay. That was my first time going to the Apollo. And locally in Vegas, I was doing a lot of talent shows, winning a lot of talent shows and things like that. I was doing it more of a hobby, so it kind of wasn't like a thing or of like professional or job or whatever. I was just doing it to be just for fun. Yeah. But it started to metastasize into something else, something I totally was not planning for it to become a thing. But when I did my first appearance on the Apollo, I did make it to the finals, and I even got the audition for the Bill Cosby show, so that was a possibility to be on that show. But thank God, because we already know what's going on back on the end now. Okay, so I kind of dodged the bullet. God saved my life. Amen. And then after that, 2 weeks after that, I was singing at Disney World. So I was at the Pleasure Island singing at the nightclub there, and they had to bring me into the back door because I was 17. I was not old enough to be in there, but they made it work. But it was all good. I mean, there were so many things that happened over the course of my life that I just kind of rode the coattails of, and now I'm current in this situation, and it just seemed like Whitney wasn't really a thought before, but for some reason Whitney is now relevant today, and people say I sound a lot like her. So I'm just here to shed light on who she is in her amazing self. But the truth behind, or the story behind the Whitney thing, is that my dad, when I was about 6 or 7, he was a maintenance guy at an apartment complex we lived in back in Vegas called Rosewood at the time. Mm-hmm. And he found the cassette tape, and I have other siblings. He came in the house and gave me the tape. So the tape was given to me. Mm-hmm. I listened to tape like back and front until the tape couldn't take no more. Okay, couldn't take no more. Mm-hmm. And so by the time I got to middle school, high school, I sounded very similar to her. And when I got to Apollo, I won with I Have Nothing. And the crazy part is that recently, not this November past, but the November prior, I was in New York and I did 4 weeks there. I won first place all 4 weeks. I made it to the finals. Wow. And I did not win. The guy who did win deserved it 100%. But that song I sang in homage of me singing it when I was 17. So it's funny that at 41, because I'm 42, I got to sing that song again, and how that song still hold weight even It's almost been over 20 years later. So that's kind of insane to me how it still resonated with that whole stadium. I mean, people were there. It was amazing. The best experience I think I've ever had. So that experience was really great. And they've just recently called me back to perform for the Apollo for May 28th and the 29th. So I think that's different. It's different when you're going out to put yourself out there and ask somebody to give you a shot versus them calling you to say, hey, we want you to come. So I got the call for them to ask me to come. So I'm super excited.
Wow.
I know it's a lot.
That's a lot.
I know it's a lot to unpack, but, just take a minute. If y'all need to rewind, stop, pause, and, what you got to do and play, what you got to do, sort that out.
Yeah, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And your story and your journey from what you told them and what you told me back in the room is just amazing. It is amazing. And this is your time.
Yes.
It is definitely your time.
I mean, God has opened the doors for me to do the national anthem. So I did get the privilege of singing for the NFL. I got to sing for the Cardinals and the Kansas City Chiefs. And that plug came through the Suns, who I've been singing for them for the last 10 years. And so when they called and say, hey, we need a singer, they gave them my number immediately. They did that for me for the Cardinals. And they also did that for me when I did the NASCAR as well.
The NASCAR too?
I done NASCAR, and I was on Fox 10, so everybody all over the world got to see me live singing that song. So it was really cool. So really great experience.
How were those experiences? Was it just a surreal moment for you at the time?
Yeah, because it's like, how do you, I remember with NASCAR, I was like, what do you wear? What exactly do Black women wear to such a thing? So I had to have some help. So I had to help me. You need to wear some boots and some jeans, blouse. Oh, okay, got you. Mm-hmm. It was all good. But yeah, it was a really great group of people from different walks, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's a different vibe, different space. Apparently Dale Earnhardt was there. Now, because I'm not a NASCAR, fanatic or fan, I didn't realize that man was standing 2 feet from me. Somebody had to tell me that he was standing there. And then I was like, oh, of course, when you don't know, you don't know. But that's apparently he was in my presence and I didn't know he was there. So y'all don't get mad at me. Please don't leave no bad comments. Okay, y'all can take that to God in prayer. Okay, but yes, but I didn't realize I was in close proximity with someone that was that great, that famous, I guess, if that makes sense. So it was really cool. But the dynamic there is definitely different. It's very country, back roads type of atmosphere. Not gonna lie, very out of my element. But I was well received. Not gonna lie, it was well received. It was a really great experience. A lot of group of people who are in faith, believers. That was interesting too. But hey, I had a great time.
That's amazing.
That was a great experience. Yeah, it was. The hockey was too. Hockey was good. It was just cold, but it was good. Okay. That was good too. So yeah, different platforms that God has allowed me to, kind of enter. But I come with an open mind. So right now I'm still learning. Even though people think that I'm such a skilled singer to some degree. I've never had any training, so there's been no vocal school or training at all, ever.
Hold on.
My whole life, not one time. Mm-mm.
No vocal training at all?
Not at all.
And you just sang that song just
that is the God honest truth. There's been no at all. And that's why people say this what makes this a little bit more spicy, they say, because it's not something that I've trained to become. It's something that was just, they say, God-given. And in my mindset, because I wasn't trying to reach for fame, because that's not really my way. Mm-hmm. I just like to kind of be where I need to be and move forward. But my gain is not to be famous. I kind of like my life. I like going to Walmart and buying my fried chicken. Thank you. I don't want to get to the point where I can't actually walk in the store. That would be terrible. My heart goes out to Michael Jackson, God rest his soul, because I can't even imagine. But for me personally, I just like the moments in life that matter to me. So I don't want to be too famous where I can't actually do my life. So, so I never really was the type to grind or reach for fame. I've just kind of let things kind of just go where they go. And I'm finding it very amazing where it's going. So I'm enjoying the journey.
Yeah, listen, God works in mysterious ways, first and foremost. And when he gives you a gift, when God gives you a gift, he wants you to use it. And will open those doors and put you in places for you to use that gift.
That's true.
And the fact that you're not chasing after fame and all this, you're sharing your gift.
I'm just sharing.
And you're sharing the love of the gift. And the love of your craft.
That's correct.
And the love that you have for Whitney Houston.
Yes.
And so, you know, it's like that legacy.
Oh, yeah.
Through your voice, through your songs, through your music, and just how you carried it. I feel personally that it will carry that.
Amen. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Now, I do give props to my pastor because she was like, Candice, it's time to get up out of here. I was like, why? As I kind of like doing this praise and worship thing. It's kind of, it works for me. But she explained to me that there's a bigger purpose that I have for, that's, you know, bigger than the four walls of our church. So, so with her, you know, because I'm an obedient child, you know, she said, we got to go. I had to go. So I went, and I'm going, and I'm not going, you know, I'm not going to say no to God and anything he's telling me to do, but I know that there's some bigger purpose in this. So, and I'm just enjoying that part too, learning that God is not, we kind of confine him into a small box. And so when you take the roof off of what God can really do, you really be amazed, honestly.
Yeah.
So I know that we like to put limits on them, but it's not really appropriate. So, so I go open-minded into these things in these spaces. And usually, if it's not his will, he'll tell me to, you know, no, and I'll just kindly turn around, walk away, you know, with no issues. But I think that that's what when I spoke on how it's not really a drive and force me to become famous. I like the idea of having the consciousness to be able to say no. I can say no because I can discern that that's not for me and just go the other way. Now, as someone that's working towards fame, they say yes to everything.
They say yes.
And sometimes the end of that road will present them something they never was expecting.
Right.
You know, so.
Because not every opportunity is a good one. Not every opportunity is for for a person's brand or to represent them.
Correct.
So you have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be true to your craft, your brand.
Absolutely.
You have to, and you know, when you're ordained to do something,
correct,
you have to listen to who's giving you that direction.
That's correct.
So yes.
So I'm learning that God is more infinite than the space in which I had him in my head for so many years. So I'm enjoying this part. If anything, I feel like I'm growing more into the woman that God's called me to be than in the spaces that we tend to limit ourselves in. So it's different.
Yeah. And see, one thing that I always say is, like, I'm going to go back to where you said people put limits on things, put God in a box. And, you know, when people use that saying, the sky is the limit.
Yes.
I don't say that. I say the sky is limitless.
Limitless.
Because you never know.
Yeah, you got the galaxy, you got the whole, you got everything.
So yeah, it's beyond the sky.
Yes, it is.
So the sky is limitless. You can do anything you want to do. Manifestation is real.
I agree.
Yes. And, you know, the direction, you know, your journey, it's real.
It is.
What you put out there and what you follow when you hear that word.
Right.
We might have some church up in here first and foremost.
I mean,
listen.
In this journey, I feel like also like just self-growth, you know, so I'm a really big advocate and know who you are, know what you want. I feel like a lot of extra things wouldn't even really come into play. And you know, when you know what you're purposed for, there's a lot of, you kind of dismiss things that don't need to be there. So if anything in my journey, I am, like I said, I am a mother of 5. I am newly divorced. Don't mean to put my business out there, but this journey has been more of an eye-opening growth process, and I've enjoyed every part of it, even the pain, whatever, you know, comes with that process. But it just, your state of mind matters. You know that your purpose was something bigger. You tend to go through these things a little bit more with ease. I'm not gonna lie. So as much as I want to, you know, one day we'll get into that another time. But for me personally, the growth in learning God in the midst of this, it's been amazing. Not gonna lie, it's been eye-opening, you know, very life-changing, honestly.
Yeah.
I see people, how I see life, how I see, like, my outward look of things is totally transformed for the better, honestly.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, because I know when you go through things and you go through things in life, like I've been divorced too.
Okay.
And you know, you put yourself on the back burner.
You do.
For you know, for your family.
Yes, you do.
Kids, family, husband, everything. It seems like you put ourselves on the back burner. However, once that happens and you start to recognize you and love you, and you start to say, okay, I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Now I have the freedom to do So now my kids are grown.
Yeah, my kids are grown, yes. There's always been an undercurrent of strength that I had that I didn't know I had until certain things occurred. Yeah. And when those things came full circle, then that strength just rose to the top. And I realized that, first of all, I'm not insecure. And I realized I'm a very strong person. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until all of this unfolded. It happens. And so when I was released to be truly who I was, or who I am, I was able to really embrace this a little bit more better. Mm-hmm. Like even coming here to do this with my friend in next door over here with I don't know if y'all hear the music in the background. This has been a journey, like I said, just learning new things and trying not to limit myself. So I'm enjoying this collab that we're doing next door. Creating, that's exciting. I'm having a great time with that. It's the first time I've ever done that, so I'm really excited about that too. So the collabing thing, or the creating. Yeah, I love that. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, so with this collab and everything, I know you said it's enjoyable and you're just meeting so many
people. But yes.
There's so much talent in
it really is. Yeah. I'm like shocked.
Yes. How does it feel to be amongst that talent?
Oh, it's comfortable. I guess like when you realize that you are a creative person, like you don't really know what all the facet that comes with that when the word creative. So this is just a space that I've never been in. So, but I enjoy it. Like I didn't know it was in me to. Like, I mean, I'm going to be in the song, doing some backup vocals. So I'm just letting y'all know I'm going to be on that hit, just saying. Y'all hear what I can do. But that's interesting how it just it's just drawn out of you. It just comes out of you. It's naturally. And I've never been in that space where things just come so naturally, and creating music and stuff. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's the energy in the room.
I love it. I'm with it. I'm with it 100%. I'm with it 100%. I love it. It's great. So I do intend to come back.
And you've worked with Big Baby before?
Yes, we did some MJ stuff. We used to do a Michael Jackson tribute band, and we used to travel. We was doing that I did that for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yes, we went everywhere. And DeAndre's a hot mess.
And what's it like?
You heard it from me. Okay.
He's a hot mess.
He's a hot mess. He's just funny. He's just funny and fun, and just he real. I tell you that too. He ain't got no shame. That's all I gotta say. No shame. We ain't going no further than that. Just that's it. No, he's very professional, and but he's a big teddy bear, so he's just a very lovable person, and very sensitive. So I'm really cool with that, So I always try to make sure he cool, he all right, but very talented individual, and he's making some moves, and God is really shifting his life for the better too. So I'm just excited to see his growth and his, and what God has created in him, and his professionalism. Like, I mean, he's just growing up, I said, oh, my baby becoming a man. So it's really great to witness though. And these are the moments I cherish too, because this is a conversation we're gonna have when we 60 years old talking. You remember when we did this? Mm-hmm. Those conversations we have at the table when we old. But this is like just going in the memory book, of where I've been and what I've done and how far I've come. So it's just part of my journey. I'm just glad that he's a part of it, to be honest. Yeah, and my good friend Twina as well.
Yeah. Twina, she's amazing. I got to talk to her.
She is like my little mentor, so she's teaching me a lot of the stuff. Because I realize that I'm kind of green in a lot of areas, but she's kind of making me more open. Like this situation right here, y'all. That just happened like 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I was not called. There was no time in the schedule. We didn't plan this. This is an impromptu situation.
Like, come on.
And we just jumped up on here and did it, okay? Because Twina said Candice. And I said, okay, yes, ma'am. That was it. And then, DeAndre said it too with his deep man voice. And I was like, okay, roger that, sir.
That's exactly what happened.
That's how
I said, okay.
We just going to do it.
I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for you to come in.
This one was supposed to go home, but, she stuck around.
I stayed. And I'm glad that I stayed.
Yeah.
Yes, because...
It's different when you say, I hate saying I can sing, because I think that not everybody consider, like I get weird to saying this is what I do. I kind of like people to hear it and kind of come to their own conclusions. To me, it's better for me to do what I do and then you make that decision than for me to tell you. So I'm very awkward when it comes to those things. Oh, you're a singer? Yes. But I like people to experience that on their own. And believe it or not, there's a lot of people who either like it and sometimes they don't. And when I say they don't, folks get in their feelings. I was like, get out your feelings, because each their own. Everybody like what they like, and so I'm not for everybody.
but you for me. Okay? Listen.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The people in this building are awesome. Laughter the whole time I've been here.
That's good. That's good. And that's what these collabs are for.
Oh, my
you know, that's getting to know people and networking.
Yes.
New voices, the
personality,
energy that's in the room, the personality,
yes,
the new connections and the friendships
I love it.
you're going to have. And it's just a pleasure.
I love it. I love
all
it.
the time.
I love it. Didn't even know I was missing this. I had no clue. I had a chat with my daughter. I said, should I go over here or should I go over here? She said, Mom, what does your heart say? I said, I think I want to go over there to, you know, DeAndre's thing. She said, okay, Mom. She said, and go and just spread your wings. That's what my daughter said. Spread your wings.
And that you did.
And that I did.
That you did.
So I shout out to you, Trinity. Shout out.
Shout out to Trinity.
Yes. Looking out for her mama.
Good. So I want to say thank you again for this time.
Problem.
It was impromptu.
Yes.
Thank you for saying, you know what, let's do it.
Yes.
Thank you for thank you for, you know, sharing your voice with us.
Yes. No issues.
Appreciate it.
No
And
issues.
Before we get out of here,
Yes.
I want you to look straight in that camera and tell everyone where to find you.
Okay. My Facebook is Candice Chavez 3. And I am on Instagram, same name. And oh, by the way, on my Facebook and my Instagram, I am doing a GoFundMe page. That's raising money for me to get me back to New York for the Apollo for May 28th and 29th. So check it out. Hope to get your support. Oh, and I'll be at the Blue Martini on the 23rd of May. Oh, sorry, this month. Sorry, March 23rd.
So, Candice Chavez, March 23rd at the Blue Martini.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out her Facebook.
Yes.
And was it Instagram?
And Instagram, same,
Facebook.
Candice Chavez 3.
Candice Chavez 3 on Facebook and Instagram. Also, look at the GoFundMe. We want to support you.
Yes, every little bit helps, honestly.
Yes.
So I'm not going to tell y'all what to give, you know, but whatever you can give, I will be very greatly appreciated.
Let the Lord use you.
Hey,
let
it just
let
go.
the Lord use you. So go check out that the GoFundMe for her. While we're checking things out, make sure you like, share, subscribe to SongLab Live and the Soul Session Show. SongLab Live you can find on all social media at SongLab Live, and Soul Session Show you can find us also on all social media at the Soul Session Show. On TikTok, it's soul.sessions.show. The W's missing. TikTok did it. But on all platforms you can catch the collabs and everything on both platforms. So I thank you so much. This is Miss J. Cole signing out. Thank you, Candice.
Candice Chavez. Y'all have a great rest of the night.
We out.
Peace.